This demonstration is designed to show you how to conduct an independent samples t-test using SPSS. What I'm going to do now is show you the data for the web-based science instruction activity that is located in D2L. You'll notice that we have two independent groups. We have a web-based curriculum group and a traditional or existing curriculum group. And we have 20 scores, or 20 students in each group. I've set those group and scores up in SPSS to look like this. But let's take some time to set these two variables up. So if you start from a blank SPSS data sheet, what you want to do is click on Variable View. And to create your first column, group, you highlight under the name cell and type in group. And then we can label that group and we can call it the curriculum. Now you'll notice that cancel this right now. You'll notice that in the spreadsheet that I've already created, I have the group, the individuals in each group labeled as 1 or 2. And in this case, we're going to label those variables. And when you set this up, you give a value of 1 for the web-based group, or the web-based curriculum, and a value of 2 for the traditional or existing curriculum. And add. So then we can go OK. So now our groups are labeled. And then under measure, what we have to do is make sure those are labeled nominal because it's a grouping variable. To create our second variable or column, under name, we'll simply write in score. We don't have to label this variable because it's not a grouping variable, but we do have to designate the type of measure it is. In this case, it's a scale variable because it's an interval level. And so we'll go ahead and designate it there. So once you have your data sheet set up, you'll see that you'll have a group and a score column. So now let's just go back to the original spreadsheet that I've already created. You'll notice that for each group, this is group 1, this is group 2, I've entered a 1 for the first 20 scores. And so I've entered a 1 for all of these scores. So the first student is 1, and then their score is a 87. The second student also has a 1, their score is 95. So the first 20 students get a 1, and then you line up their score, enter the score in for each one of those students. The second group of students in the traditional curriculum, they all receive a 2, and then you make sure you put the correct score by each person. So this first student in the second group, the traditional curriculum group, gets an 82. You see the 82 here. The next student gets a 72, 95, etc. So once you've done that, you're ready to do the analysis. So then we can go to SPSS and go Analyze, Compare Means, and Independent Samples t-test. Now in this case, our test variable, the variable that we're comparing the groups on, is score. Our grouping variable is the curriculum, whether it's web-based or traditional. But we have to define those groups. And so we click on that box. And in this case, we gave our web-based group a 1, and the traditional group, or the existing group, a 2. And then we click on Continue. And now, all we have to do is click on OK. So now we have our output, And you notice for the web-based group, there are 20 students, the mean is 86.05. For the existing or the traditional curriculum, there are also 20 students, and the mean is 79.45. Notice that we get the standard deviations for each group as well. In this case, we want to make sure that we have 20 in each group because we know that that's the original data. There were equal numbers. If there are not 20 in each group, or the numbers are different than what the original data set had in it, then you need to go back and check your data to see what errors you made in entering the data in SPSS. This is the results for the independent samples t-test. You'll notice that the significance level is 0.032. So because this is below 0.05, our chances of making a type 1 error, or saying the two groups are different, is making a mistake by saying the two groups are significantly different, is less than 5%. In this case, our chance of making a type 1 error is a little over 3%. However, we see that when this first part of the analysis, our F ratio is significant. And so for this Levine's test of equality of variances, what that means is that the two groups, the web-based and existing curriculum group, variances are significantly different. And so that violates one of our assumptions. And so when this is the case, you can simply go to the second row and read that result. And you can see that result is still below 0.05. So in this case, again, we have just a little over a 3% chance of making a type 1 error. The mean difference between group 1 and group 2, or the web-based and existing curriculum group, is on average 6.6 points, and that difference is significant. So interpreting these results, we can say that the web-based group score is significantly higher than the existing curriculum or the traditional curriculum score.